Antoine Roy was a French lawyer and politician. He was a national representative during the 100 Days when Napoleon returned from Elba, a deputy from 1815 to 1821, a peer of France and 3 times Minister of Finance. Early years. Antoine Roy was born in Savigny, Haute-Marne, on 5 March 1764. His parents were Charles Roy, bourgeois and resident of Savigny, and Miss Claudette Grissot. He studied at the College of Langes, then studied law in Paris and was admitted to the bar in 1785. He did not approve of the French Revolution and remained at the bar, but took advantage of the opportunity to acquire national property in 1791. He defended Rousseau in 1792, and in the year 3 defended several of the accused of 13 Vendémiaires. On 17 April 1793 Roy married Adélaïde Sophie Barré, daughter of Jean-Benoît Vincent Barré, an architect, and Marie-Félicité Germain. They had 2 daughters, Marie-Eliza and Alexandrine Sophie Laure. Roy associated with Claude Carillon d'Estrées in exploiting the forests and in running major ironworks. During the Revolution and the Empire, Roy was a leading provider of supplies to the Ministries of War and the Navy, which protected him from problems arising from his royalist sympathies. Roy's openly royalist leanings led to the Duke of Bouillon giving him enjoyment of the land of Navarre and the administration of its forests in 1798. He acquired the greater part of the property of the Duke of Bouillon, who was having grave financial difficulties, in exchange for an annual payment of 300,000 francs. A few months later the Duke died suddenly and Roy became one of the richest landowners in France. In 1801 he was sued by the state for repayment of 2 million francs, saying he had wrongly taken that amount while administering the Duke's property, which was now the property of the state. Roy refused to give up his claim to the forest of Navarre, but lost trials in 1802 and again in 1813. The Navarre domains passed to the Empress Josephine, then to Prince Eugene de Beauharnais and his son. Roy never forgave Napoleon for this. During the 100 Days when Napoleon returned from exile, Roy was elected on 7 May 1815 to represent the Seine. He stood as an irreconcilable opponent of Napoleon. On 6 June 1815 he opposed taking the oath of fidelity. On 16 June he asked for a special committee to examine whether war was necessary. During the discussion of financial law, he took the floor again and tried all methods of removing resources from the army. Bourbon Restoration. When the Bourbon court returned from Ghent, Roy hastened to meet it. He was received as a victim of imperial despotism, but the king expressed the view that if he had a complaint, it was not of poverty. Roy was re-elected deputy on the 22nd of August 1815, and again on the 4th of October 1816 and the 20th of September 1817. He often voted with the minority, particularly on secondary issues, and affected a degree of liberalism. He was rapporteur of the budget in 1817 and 1818, and in this role in 1819 found a saving of 19 millions. On 7 December 1818 he was called to succeed Louis Emmanuel Corvetto as Minister of Finance, but was unable to achieve any reforms before the Richelieu cabinet resigned on 28 December 1818. He was named Minister of State and member of the Privy Council, Commissioner of the Sinking Fund and of the Deposit and Consignment Office. He returned to his seat in the Chamber, and was responsible for reviewing the backlog of financial statements for the years 1815 to 1818. After his report on the new budget, he obtained a reduction of 20 million in the movable and immovable contributions. On the 19th of November 1819, he was again appointed Minister of Finance, replacing Baron Lewis. He held this position until the 14th of December 1821, and initiated several reforms that significantly improved the financial situation of France. On the 4th of January 1820, he filed a proposal for the final release of the purchases of national property. On the 16th of January 1821, he obtained a considerable reduction of land taxes. After the evacuation of territory by the Allies, he regularized departmental debts. In December 1821, he handed his portfolio to Jean-Baptiste de Villiers. He was made a peer of France on the 13th of December 1821 and created a count by the king. In the upper house, he continued to occupy himself mainly with financial issues. When Jean-Baptiste de Martignac formed his ministry, Roy was appointed Minister of Finance for a third time, holding office from the 5th of January 1828 to the 7th of August 1829. However, his financial proposals met many obstacles from the parliamentary majority. King Charles X decided to form a strong reactionary cabinet under Jules de Polignac, and asked Roy to keep his portfolio. However, due to the attached conditions, Roy felt obliged to refuse. July monarchy. Roy retired on the 21st of February 1830, and was awarded the Orders of the Holy Spirit and Saint Michel. From then on, Roy devoted himself exclusively to the business of the upper chamber. He accepted the government of Louis Philippe without hesitation, and was often responsible for reports on taxes, the lottery and the budget. He was awarded the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor. Antoine Roy died in Paris on the 3rd of April 1847, aged 83. He left a fortune that was estimated at 40 million francs.